Okay, sorry about that, guys. It cut off on me. I'm hoping this will be the last section of this for you. I think this is part 6, so apologize for that. Let's carry on and try to wrap this up so I'm not dragging it out any longer for you. I went ahead and had glued this down. And so, again, this piece is going to go here. And this again is where you kind of have to play with your stuff, kind of retrofit it in. I had a couple thoughts. Part of me was like, oh, do I want a little bit more color? Maybe I add, not this particular piece, but I can cut from there to add a little bit more of this and then kind of fill that in. You know, don't be afraid to cut your lace and your pieces up, right? That's what this is all about. And just a helpful hint too, when I'm doing this kind of, and I call it auditioning, right? It's playing around with your pieces, seeing what's going to look best, what you're going to be happy with. And even sometimes when I get my final thing, I like to have a picture because sometimes when you have to glue bottom up, right? And then I forget where exactly did that piece go. So I take pictures. Even at this stage, if I'm trying a couple different things, I'll take pictures of them and then I can compare the pictures to see what I really like best, right? Some people just like go for it, and that's fine too. That's totally up to you. But I just kind of, again, it's plain. It's there's not an exact science. I can't tell you. I don't know what your pieces are going to be, and it's just, pulling from what you have, right? So I kind of looked at this a little bit, but then I thought, again, I remembered I had this other lace, and I thought, oh, you know what? That might be pretty there. I didn't really initial think about covering up this applique here, or this piece of lace. It was scrapped from apparently another, whole section, but that way it kind of spreads out, adds a little bit more color there, and then go back and fill in with this lace again that I did the previous one, and I think some in the front, right? Don't be afraid to cut pieces apart to make them fit, right? So like this, I'm going to cut, along here, maybe cut down here, and I think I'm going to go with that, and it'll add a little bit more sparkle and interest to the back because I really don't have much of that going on at all, even in the front. I just have two little pieces down here. There is some in the butterfly though, so I think it'll tie in a little bit better too. So that's the route I'm going to take. So I'm going to kind of again show you, playing with these pieces, and just cutting them apart. Again, they're easily glue down. So this kind of fits, somewhat nicely like that. I can cut little pieces off like this to fit there. Let's see, what else do I have here? Again, and they don't have to exactly match the other side. Yeah, that's not going to fit good like that, but it can come up here. This one I might have to do in a couple sections. So let me cut in between here. And again, this is just to kind of show you, play with your stuff. That is really the only way I can tell you, because again, there's not an exact science to this, even for me. I don't know where it's going to go until I start diving in and doing it. So it's not something I can kind of pull things that I think are going to go with what I want to do in kind of a vision in my head, but I really don't know for sure until I'm doing it. And so don't let that deter you from doing a project or trying something, because you don't know exactly where you're going to go. That's part of the creative process. That's what should make it fun, right? It's supposed to make it fun for us, is exploring and see what you can create. You know, at this point, again, I'm not gluing anything down. There isn't anything that can't be removed or replaced, right? I wanted to cut this off here too. So I didn't want that piece hanging. So I might as well do that now before I forget and start gluing and I have to stop. Right? So you're just kind of filling in the blanks. And like this is, okay, I'm not going to cut into that. I'm just going to tuck that underneath there. Right? And then let's see. What else do I have left? Okay, like here, there's no, I have this piece up here, but there's not a lot on it. You know, not every piece has to be blingy. That's okay too. And, okay, I can fit that in there. Right? And this has some bling, so that's okay too. I don't think this on its own is going to be, oops, I didn't cut all the way through. There we go. It might be enough. Yeah, okay, good enough. All right, not every inch has to be filled. But I did want this to go on top, right? And that's, again, with the layering, how you kind of think. What's kind of cool about this is I can leave these pieces in place. And again, before doing this, I really didn't know where I was going to go with it. So I'm going to put that aside. And then again, like this was kind of a last minute thought, you know. Again, I was planning on that showing, but see, I think that just adds, of course, I don't want it to stick up over the fold. So, but that kind of ties in and adds a little bit more color. And it works with the one underneath. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So again, what I said is kind of nice is I only have to lift the pieces up and apply the glue and could have put it right back down. Okay, so I'm going to just start up here. Doesn't matter where I start, but that's just where I'm going to do it. Okay, and especially once I get going with this glue, since it's already to the tip, I just got to watch it doesn't drip. So I'm going to hang it over a part that will be covered up with lace anyway. Kind of keep that where it's at. Yeah, see, that wasn't, my piece moved on me, it was connected. I think that was about where it was. Yeah, should be good. And again, I like to just put it on when there's netting showing like that. I mean, if I get glue on it, I get glue on it. It's not a big deal, but I kind of prefer not to do it if I can avoid it. Having it on the outside and in the middle should be enough. Okay. Pull that down a little bit. It's okay for things to overlap. And this is thick enough I can use my fingers and not get it on. Okay, and then this little piece right here is going to go on here. Okay, looks like I'm still recording. That's good. I believe that went like that. Okay, so just want to, again, kind of press it down real good. I could at this point be using a paper towel, but like I said, I kept it on the thick parts. Nothing's really coming through onto my finger. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to here. Hopefully my hand's not in your way too much. Put a little bit on that netting there. Okay. Oops. Here, I think it went like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pull it over just a little bit more. Like I said, this glue is kind of nice because it allows you a little bit room to slide it around, time I should say. It's not a fast drying glue, but it also doesn't take super long. Okay, so this is a big piece. It's going like this. So I want to make sure I'm in frame for you. I'm sorry if any of it's been out of frame. I try to set the camera up to get it all in, but it's hard to watch the camera and work at the same time. I'm trying to be as quick as possible to make these videos as short. But I always want to make sure I'm giving you guys good content, good information, good advice. Things of value for you, just not showing you how to do it. Try to explain why, or at least I do the things that I do or why I do. It's from mistakes I've learned. Again, I say that sometimes our best teacher is diving in and trying to figure it out. And sometimes you learn more from that experience than what anyone can teach you. The basics, yep, sure. But creativity-wise, it's like until you actually dive in and do it, there's really no way to pass that on to other people. But I try to do that, so hopefully that is helping you guys. I would appreciate any feedback. Don't worry about being critical. If there's anything that you would find helpful that I include, or again, I know they're a little lengthy, but I'm hoping that that adds value, not just for the people that are new to junk journaling or crafting, different things, projects that I do. For a lot of you, you may already know a lot of this, but I don't know who knows what. And so I try to make it something of value for everybody. And hopefully even people that have been doing things a while can pick some things up. I'm not by sure the master of anything. I don't think any of us is when it comes to art or crafts, right? Everyone has their own take. You have to find out what works for you, because it may not work for someone else. So again, I can only guide you with what I've experienced and what I know works for me. And again, my goal is to help you increase your skill sets, not just give you, hey, here's step A, here's step B, to understand too why you're doing what you're doing. And it's important because then you can apply that knowledge to other things that you're doing, right? Not just that one project. And you do it because they told you to do it, but you really don't understand why you did that, right? Because that's not really helping you learn things. It's just, might as well just like a textbook, right? Why would we have teachers in schools if they're really of no value? You could just read the textbook, right? Don't really need to have a class or a teacher involved. It's there to help you explain more in depth or explain more in detail what was the purpose or what was meant by that, or etc., etc. I think you know where I'm going. But anyway, I would appreciate any feedback for sure. I know they're lengthy. I apologize for that. But these aren't projects that are a quick tag or journal card. These are meant to be more detailed, and so therefore they are longer. So, you know, it's up to you whether you want to do the project or watch the video or even just glance through it. And, hey, go for it. If, you know, you just get the basic idea and say, oh, that's cool. I think I don't need to watch the video. I can do that on my own. Yeah, absolutely. Don't spend the 2 hours or whatever watching it. But again, like I said, I do, besides just show you what I'm doing, try to add tips and, I don't say really tricks, but some things of value along with just showing you how to do it, right? I'm not one to talk about my personal life. I know a lot of YouTubers do that. And that's great. You know, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. That's just not my style. If I'm going to talk, I want it to be of value to you, or try it to be of value to you, rather than you hear about my life, my family, my this, that, my shopping experience, you know, whatever. But again, I do enjoy those channels as well. And there's a lot of great women out there, and sometimes I could just listen to them talk all day. They're just a pleasure. And so don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking that at all. I actually do that sometimes, just and to learn something at the same time. But there's something just fun about them. They make me laugh. They have they're just a pleasure to watch, and I learned something at the same time. Anyway, so I've added that on. I'm pleased with that. I don't like the way this is kind of, but that is the way the ribbon is. Oh, well, maybe I can pull that down a little bit. You know what, I'm just going to add a little spot of glue underneath there. I'm sorry, the perfectionist in me gets... If I can fix it or make it look better, I try to do that. Or, you know, it's important that I'm happy with it. For you, it's important that you're happy with it. Don't do what you think Sandy would do. Do what you like to do. Or, you know, again, if you use this as a basis or a guide. But like I said, don't be afraid to cut your laces apart. And I'm going to mention this in the post. Don't feel you have to, and it's kind of late to tell you now, right? But if you're watching the video before you do yours, don't feel you have to do this with lace. You can do this with materials. You can do this with even just paper. You know, not really like a Mod Podge, but, you know, or you know, fuzzy cut things out, images. It doesn't have to be lace. And then you can, if you want to bling it up by adding, you know, even here, just gems, a strand of gems. It's unlimited what you can do, is what I'm saying. And yeah, don't feel you have to cover the whole thing. Do what you like to do. Play with it. If you're just dealing with paper, you know, unless it's very special paper that you purchased, or, you know, or you only have a sheet of it left, or however. But remember, it's just paper. I don't say that without respect to it. But like I said, I do a prototype. I did do it straight with the lace. But, a lot of times I'll do something and just use paper that I don't care about. It's cheap paper. Again, it's just my prototype or model to kind of have an idea. And I don't know why they closed that up. I still have work to do in the front. But just to kind of get an idea of like, oh, I kind of have this thing in my head, or I saw something and I want to try to, you know, mirror it. Maybe it was just a picture on Pinterest and there's no instructions. Like I saw this and there was no instructions. So I just like, I got to, you know, kind of figure it out and see what I can do. So I will take paper that's junk paper or whatever. Gosh, you could even use lined paper if you want, whatever is, you know, something that's disposable at your need. And then just kind of build what you're trying to build. And then you have a little bit more comfort zone going into it. And I said I did not want to go over this line, didn't I? And I ended up, see, this is what sometimes, well, not that it would look bad. I don't know if I can, oh, because I'm trying to pull the wrong part. That's part, I'm fine. This isn't, this is part of the applique, sorry. I was thinking it was part of this and I went too high with it when I said I didn't want to do that. No, I'm good. See, I'm getting too talky and I'm thinking I'm messing up when I'm not. Okay. So, that I think is pretty done. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that. I can live with that. Okay. So back to the front. Now again, I have the flower here, so as I'm working, I don't want to be pushing down too hard. That's why I didn't put the butterfly on the front. But that's all I have left to do on the front is adhere this butterfly. And I think I'm going to put him about here. And I don't know that I want to glue him totally down. I may change my mind later and do that. But I think mainly I just want to attach the body in this, make sure it's adhered to it well, but kind of leave his wings, you know, so that they can flap. Like I said, later on I may change my mind and say, no, I really need to glue that down. It might get caught on something. But at this point, I don't really feel the need to totally adhere him down. I'm going to move him down just a little bit. So, mainly get his body here. And you can even see where they've glued the flowers and that onto him. Probably being a little over generous here with the glue. And it's probably going to come out a little bit, but that's okay. I just want to make sure he's really securely, yeah, I can feel the glue coming through. So I'm going to use my paper towel. And that also gives me room to kind of jiggle him around a little bit. Okay, I don't want to smush the rose. Kind of open that up a little bit. Oh, he's crooked. Okay. I think that's good. I don't want to play with it too much more and then get them back out of sync. But I'm going to, with my fingers, press down, pinching the roses instead of smushing them. Okay. Got to make sure I close up my glue. Like I said, this glue in particular, you can see it maybe building up here. And I like to peel that off if I can, right? Because especially when the air hits this stuff, it dries hard. And the last thing I want, and then it starts getting really thick. And then it really gets hard to squeeze out the bottle. And it's a lot harder to work with. This isn't exactly cheap. I always try to use a coupon. I am, I'll say, a thrifty crafter. I try to I don't have an unlimited budget. We'll just say that. I don't think many of us do. But I try to craft on a budget. Like I said, this lace, a lot of it was on sale. Some of it was from AliExpress. And I'm not trying to promote any company by far. I'm not getting any kickback either, so don't. It's nothing like that. I just you can get some good prices there, and they have free ship. But a lot of these, like I said, bits and pieces. I found a lady, I don't know her name, and I apologize. It was quite some time ago, and she just happened to have extra fabric or lace pieces. They weren't even full sections. And I thought, oh, you know what? I could, in here, I finally found a good purpose for it. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with this too much. This is going to close down, okay? And then I would tie my ribbon here. Let me try to get that a go. I don't want to disrupt the back at all. And then I'll trim my ribbon up, of course. Now, the other thought that I had about this, besides putting a bow, and again, whether I do it with this one or the next one, another possibility is to, let me just tie this. I just want to see what it's going to look like and make sure that's not the best bow, but I just conceptually, yeah, I'll do a better bow on it, but right now I just kind of want to have an idea. Yeah, okay. And I would tie it tighter, but again, I don't want to disrupt anything that's drying right now. So that's kind of basically how it looks. Yeah, I guess I'm okay with that. The other thing that I was thinking that for a front, instead of tying a bow, you could always take your ribbon and put a magnet, fold this back, and glue it down to secure the magnet. Do the same with the piece here. Of course, you're going to have it come up a little bit longer, right? To where these would meet. Okay? And have them snap closed like that. And then if you wanted, you could put, like if I didn't have the butterfly here, there was some other pieces I had. One was little bows and whatever. But you could always put something here. Again, depending on what you're doing up here. If it was, yeah. So, you know, again, there's tons of ideas. Don't limit yourself to just what I'm showing you. Take it, explore, play with it, have fun. This was the back. Okay. And like I said, I want to let this dry before I do a nicer, neater bow. And that's, I'll put these pictures out on the event page. So you'll see the finished product. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you engage in exploring your creativity. Like I said, there's endless ways you can go with this. Don't limit yourself to just lace. Even just doing paper. Even if you collage paper. Patchwork, like, you know, make it look patchworky. It's just about dressing up the envelope. And why not? Why not make it more than just about the card? And then again, do the greeting card journal so that there's something even special inside for the recipient. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Have a great day. See you the next challenge.